When most people first step into the world of Linux, one name almost always comes up first, and that is Ubuntu. For years, it has been the go-to recommendation for beginners and even many experienced users because of its ease of use, strong community support, and wide compatibility. But here's the reality in 2026. The Linux ecosystem has evolved dramatically, and Ubuntu is no longer the only or even the best choice for many users. New distributions have emerged, existing ones have matured, and the needs of users have shifted. Whether you're a developer, gamer, content creator, or just someone who wants a stable and fast operating system, there are now several Linux distributions that can outperform Ubuntu in different ways. So if you've been sticking with Ubuntu out of habit, it might be time to rethink your choice and explore what else is out there. Let's start by understanding why people are even looking beyond Ubuntu in the first place. Over the past few years, Ubuntu has made some controversial decisions, like pushing snap packages more aggressively, which many users find slower compared to traditional package formats. While Snap has its benefits, such as sandboxing and ease of updates, it has also introduced performance issues and longer startup times for applications. On top of that, some users feel that Ubuntu has become a bit too corporate, especially with its close ties to Canonical, which focuses heavily on enterprise and cloud solutions. As a result, many users are exploring alternatives that offer more control, better performance, or a more streamlined experience. One of the first distributions that comes to mind when talking about Ubuntu alternatives is Linux Mint. It's often recommended as a direct replacement because it's based on Ubuntu, but removes many of the things users dislike. Linux Mint focuses heavily on simplicity and user experience, offering a traditional desktop layout that feels familiar to Windows users. The Cinnamon desktop environment is smooth, responsive, and highly customizable without being overwhelming. Unlike Ubuntu, Linux Mint avoids pushing snap packages by default and instead sticks with traditional package management, which many users prefer. It's stable, reliable, and perfect for everyday use, making it a strong contender for anyone who wants something better than Ubuntu without a steep learning curve. Another powerful option is Fedora, which has gained massive popularity in recent years. Fedora is known for being cutting-edge while still maintaining stability. It often introduces new technologies earlier than other distributions, making it a favorite among developers and tech enthusiasts. If you want access to the latest features in the Linux world without dealing with constant breakage, Fedora strikes a great balance. It uses the GNOME desktop environment in its purest form, offering a clean and modern interface. Fedora also has strong backing from Red Hat, which ensures high-quality updates and security. Compared to Ubuntu, Fedora feels faster, more polished, and less cluttered, especially if you're someone who values performance and modern design. Then there's Arch Linux, which takes a completely different approach. Arch is not for beginners, but it offers something that Ubuntu simply cannot: complete control. With Arch, you build your system from the ground up, choosing exactly what you want and nothing more. This results in a lightweight and highly optimized system tailored to your needs. Arch follows a rolling release model, meaning you always have the latest software without needing to upgrade to a new version of the operating system. While it requires more effort to set up and maintain, the payoff is a system that is incredibly fast, flexible, and up-to-date. For advanced users, Arch is often considered superior to Ubuntu because it eliminates unnecessary bloat and gives you full ownership of your system. If Arch sounds appealing but too complex, then Manjaro might be the perfect middle ground. Manjaro is based on Arch but designed to be user-friendly. It provides a graphical installer, pre-configured desktop environments, and access to the Arch user repository, which is one of the largest software repositories in the Linux world. This means you can install almost any software you want with ease. Manjaro also adds an extra layer of testing before releasing updates, making it more stable than pure Arch while still offering the benefits of a rolling release. Compared to Ubuntu, Manjaro feels more modern, faster, and more flexible, especially for users who want cutting-edge features without the complexity of setting everything up manually. Another distro that deserves attention in 2026 is Pop! OS. Developed by System76, Pop! OS is based on Ubuntu, but heavily optimized for performance, especially for gaming and productivity. It features a custom desktop environment that enhances workflow with tiling window management and keyboard shortcuts. Pop! OS also provides excellent support for NVIDIA GPUs, making it a top choice for gamers and creators. Unlike Ubuntu, it removes unnecessary clutter and focuses on delivering a smooth, efficient experience. If you're someone who wants a powerful system that just works out of the box, Pop! OS is often a better choice than Ubuntu. For those who prioritize privacy and security, there are distributions like Tails and Cubes OS. While these are more niche and not meant for everyday use, they highlight how diverse the Linux ecosystem has become. Tails is designed for anonymity, routing all internet traffic through Tor, while Cubes OS takes a security-first approach by isolating different tasks into separate virtual machines. These are extreme examples, but they show that Linux is no longer just about general-purpose computing. It can be tailored for very specific needs in ways Ubuntu cannot match. Another rising star is Endeavour OS, which offers a near-arch experience with a simpler installation process. It's lightweight, fast, and gives users a clean slate to build their system. Unlike Manjaro, which adds its own layer of customization, Endeavour OS stays closer to Arch while still being accessible. This makes it a great choice for users who want to transition into the Arch ecosystem without diving in completely blind. Compared to Ubuntu, it offers better performance and more control, especially for users who are willing to learn a bit more about how Linux works under the hood. Zorin OS is another interesting alternative, especially for users coming from Windows. It focuses heavily on design and user experience, offering a polished interface that can mimic Windows or Mac OS layouts. Zorin OS aims to make the transition to Linux as smooth as possible, with built-in tools for running Windows applications and a carefully curated set of software. While Ubuntu also tries to be beginner-friendly, Zorin OS often feels more refined and visually appealing, making it a strong competitor in that space. For developers, distributions like Debian and OpenSUSE are worth considering. Debian is known for its stability and reliability, forming the foundation for many other distributions, including Ubuntu itself. If you want a system that rarely breaks and just keeps working, Debian is an excellent choice. On the other hand, OpenSUSE offers powerful tools like YAST for system management and comes in two main versions: Leap for stability and Tumbleweed for rolling updates. Both options provide more flexibility than Ubuntu, depending on whether you prefer stability or cutting-edge software. Gaming on Linux has also improved significantly, and some distributions are better suited for it than Ubuntu. SteamOS, for example, has gained attention due to its use in gaming devices and its optimization for gaming performance. While Ubuntu can run games just fine, distributions like Pop! OS and Manjaro often provide a smoother experience with better driver support and performance tweaks. As gaming continues to grow on Linux, choosing the right distro can make a noticeable difference. One important thing to understand is that there is no single, best Linux distribution. What makes a distro better than Ubuntu depends entirely on your needs. If you want simplicity and stability, Linux Mint might be your best bet. If you want the latest features, Fedora or Manjaro could be better choices. If you want complete control, Arch or Endeavour OS might be the way to go. And if you want a polished, ready-to-use system for gaming or productivity, Pop! OS stands out. Another factor to consider is community and support. Ubuntu still has one of the largest communities, which can be incredibly helpful for beginners. However, other distributions have grown their communities significantly, and resources are now widely available for almost every major distro. This means you're no longer limited to Ubuntu just because of support. You can find help and documentation for almost any distribution you choose. Performance is another area where many alternatives outperform Ubuntu. Because Ubuntu includes a lot of pre-installed software and services, it can feel heavier compared to more minimal distributions. Distros like Arch, Endeavour OS, and even Fedora often feel faster and more responsive, especially on older hardware. If performance is a priority, exploring these options can make a big difference. Customization is also a major advantage of many Ubuntu alternatives. While Ubuntu allows customization, it doesn't offer the same level of flexibility as distributions like Arch or Manjaro. Being able to shape your system exactly the way you want is one of the biggest strengths of Linux, and some distros embrace this philosophy more than others. In 2026, the Linux landscape is more exciting than ever. Ubuntu is still a solid choice, especially for beginners, but it's no longer the default recommendation for everyone. The rise of alternative distributions has given users more freedom and better options tailored to different needs. Whether you're looking for speed, stability, customization, or cutting-edge features, there's a distro out there that can outperform Ubuntu in the areas that matter most to you. So if you've been using Ubuntu for years and feel like something is missing, this might be the perfect time to explore new possibilities. Try a few different distributions, see what fits your workflow, and don't be afraid to experiment. Linux is all about choice, and in 2026, that choice has never been more powerful.